0.8% of Kenyan adults report placing a bet in the last year, while the average monthly betting spend is around 1,825 Kenya shillings. Even more concerning, about 4.2% of adults are classified as problem gamblers, with nearly 10% at moderate risk. These are not just numbers, they are lives and communities in crisis. For many, gambling looks like easy money and quick wins, but behind the bright lights and jackpots lies a hidden cost. The real cost of gambling. It starts with the thrill, a small bet, a lucky win, but soon one game leads to another, and what feels like fun can spiral into debt and frustration. For individuals, gambling can mean unpaid bills, borrowing money you can't repay, and in some cases, addiction. Savings vanish, futures stall, families carry the burden too. Missed school fees, unpaid rent, and broken trust. What started as a harmless game can divide households. The damage of gambling goes beyond just the individual and their family. Many young people trapped in debt turn to crime just to place the next bet. Others abuse drugs to escape the stress. Communities are left grappling with addiction, insecurity, and lost potential. The true cost of gambling isn't just money lost. It's opportunities missed, families divided, and futures compromised. Before placing the next bet, ask yourself, is the risk really worth the price?
It has helped me in paying some of my school fees. Like there's a day I got from Aviator like 5K. I paid my school fees. Anytime you get such any amount, you feel like going to Aviator, start betting. The experience is good and sometimes it's tense.
I've seen it from my friends. Hao wameshinda kiasi. Lakini bado sometimes inakuja na consequences. Pesa zao zinaenda zingine and mtu anakuwa violent. Hadi kuna wenye wanataka kujiua juu ya hiyo pesa imeenda. Juu mtu aliekelea pesa kijui itarudi. Kani pesa ya tuseme like school fees. Like, I had a friend mwenye aliekelea school fees akidhania ita double. Ikaenda yote.
I've seen watoto wengi wanaingia kwa depression. In fact, I've seen I know someone mwenye amejiua because of mambo ya gambling.
Nina kijana, unaona kwa sababu ameshazoea hii, amekuwa addicted na hii kubet na ina limit, na hata ukimwambia wachane nayo hawezi achana nayo, ameshakuwa addicted. Unaona anakuibia pesa hapo kwa meza, unaweza acha pesa hapo kwa meza ya maji, anakuibia, anaenda kubet. Anagoja kuna vyenye wanasema ati mtu ati anaangukia ati kamoja ya kubeti ati italeta baada ati wataona congratulation. Jua inaguza mlima kabla hajaona hii congratulation.
Nishaijaribu but sasa from first experience nikaona I can't do it. Like mimi ule mtu spendi pressure mob. So the first time niligongwa do mob and ikanitoka huko kabisa. So stakagi hiyo story ya gambling.
Wow, what a place to start from, really getting to know the real cost of gambling. And right there, I think we've had deep issues that really have to do with gambling. A very good morning to you, wherever you're joining us this beautiful Wednesday morning, where we're discussing matters finances. And of course, obviously we're talking about matters gambling today. And as they said, someone mentioned there from the reel that we just watched, that it's not just about the money. And even my guest in studio this morning, amazing gentlemen who have both been navigated this journey actually, and by God's grace, they've been able to conquer that addiction. They'll be talking to us about that. And one said, really, it's not about the money. It actually goes way beyond just money. So join us on this conversation on 20316 SMS line 0786316316. That is our WhatsApp line, as well as our live channel on Family Media, on our YouTube channel. Be part of that conversation and be reading your feedback as we go on with the conversation. Gentlemen, karibuni sana.
Thank you.
And asanteni sana. I have Steve with me in studio and Mark Justin. Yes, Mark Justin, all the way from Murang'a. That's quite a sacrifice, I must acknowledge that. Absolutely. Asante sana. But I'll start with you, Steve, as well. From your busy schedule, you're able to make time. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. My name is Steve Giro. I'm the founder of Waziri Organization.
Yes.
Waziri Organization is a community-based organization located in Dagoretti South.
Okay.
And I decided to form the organization because of that journey that I had gone through, the pain, losing almost everything in matters related to gambling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Losing almost everything. We'll get to that, you know, very interesting. And you, earlier you had said it's not just about the money. You lost much more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark Justin, to you. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Mark Justin Kamau, from Murang'a County.
Right.
And I'm born again. Let me start there.
Amen.
Christ is the Lord and Savior of my life. And I have been in dungeons, I've been in a pit.
Yeah.
But by the grace of God, He saved me. Currently, we run a rehabilitation center with my father,
Okay.
who has also been in addiction.
Wow.
He's 21 years sober, checked into a rehab back in 2004. And we lost my mother through the same addiction.
Was it alcohol?
It's poly addiction, where it's a mixture of so many types of addiction.
Okay.
But by the grace of God now, we are running the institution called Savari Rehabilitation Center.
Okay.
And we work with people who are in the same journey that we were in.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here.
Karibuni sana.
Asante.
I think this is quite an urgent conversation. This thing has been going on for a while.
Yes.
And first things first, because we were talking just before the show and you guys were telling me about gambling. I'm like, even that is gambling, even that is gambling. So Mark Justin, probably just to start us off, what really is gambling all about?
I believe gambling is a game of chances. It's a game of chances. It's a game where somebody else has to lose.
Yeah.
That's the difference between it and investment.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Somebody else has to lose.
Yeah.
Where you're waiting on chances. You don't know even the exact result. And you know, some people are like, but I know if I play football, there is a big team, it has to win. I've done those things for a very long time.
Yeah.
Where you place on big teams thinking that they're going to win. But in reality, that's the weekend, those teams don't even win or they even draw.
Okay.
So it's a game of chances. You don't even know who is going to win. And from the olden days when gambling started, it has always been a game of chances through what gambling started in. And for you to realize that gambling is dangerous, though I don't we might get there. The first casino was opened in a place called Ridotto.
Okay.
It was in a place called Venice, if I'm not wrong, in Italy. And that casino opened in 1638, it was closed in 17 something.
Wow.
Because it was impoverishing people.
Okay.
From the olden days.
Yeah.
America, when casinos started, they were closed. They only came back during the Great Depression. They were closed because of how they were impoverishing people. And they only came back because of the owners.
Okay.
The ones who are running are the cartels in the nation. So, and that's the reason maybe even in Kenya, it's very hard to close them. They are always impoverishing the people because gambling is more of the people who are running the. They are well funded. It's not about now the ones who are gambling. And once you have that mentality, you understand what gambling really is.
I really like how you've taken us back, that brief history. That's very important, just to know that this thing really doesn't work, or the negative effects of it. And to you, Steve, you've been a gambler before. Probably you may just take us, you know, very briefly through your journey. How did you start gambling? And what was it? What kind of gambling? Because I'm shocked that even betting for games is actually gambling.
First of all, I moved to Nairobi the year 2015.
Okay.
After finishing my high school. And I just came to Nairobi to look for greener pastures.
Yeah.
Just because life back then in the village was not that conducive. Imagine coming from a family whereby you are around 7 siblings, and things were very tough.
Yeah.
So I just moved to Nairobi, and the street really welcomed me in a manner that I never expected this. Because now you come, wanasemanga like ukija mjini, you come with akili peke yake, tabia utazipata mjini. You know. So I was introduced to gambling now by a friend. Back then now we had the so-called SportPesa and Betin. Right. They were very famous. So you know, you're from the village, you don't know where to start from. The guy who has just brought you to town, the kind of job he's doing is he's just a casual laborer in Mjengo site. Yeah. So I had to start from there. So each and every weekend, guys could you know, once you paid during the weekend, the first thing that runs in your mind is that now with the friends that I hired, they could tell me, hey, Steve Nyaje, let's go. You know, back then we had these fiscal betting shops. The fiscal betting shops now, that's where I started from. Okay. Now the money that I had, I think I was being paid around 3,000. Because weekly, in a day, you could do for 500 shillings. Yeah. So I could walk into those betting shops, and before I realized that I'm losing, I had nothing. Then now that's the kind of life, the cycle that I was living in. So I could not even afford buying even shoes, even buying clothes, you understand? So that's how it started. It started with just placing just a normal bet, hoping that I'll win much. And with gambling, it comes with a very strong feeling. Okay. You see, once you decide that I'll stop, now you imagine of the losses that you've gone through. Yeah. Now that one triggers your mind. It plays with... You need to make more to recover what you lost. Yeah. Wow. And now you see, by the time now I was reaching around 2019, now I'd become a pro. Even now having a phone, you know, even like communicating back to the village, you know, to my parents, you know, it was kind of so hectic. You know, I was living a life whereby I could not care. Okay. Gamblers are those people when you wanaishi to like bora leo iishe ama ijipe. So tomorrow will take care of itself. Tomorrow will take care of itself. From what you've just said, yours started from, you came from home and then friends influence for you. Friends influence, the pain influence. For you, Mark Justine, how did you get yourself into this deep, we can call it slavery? Yeah.
First of all, I really wanted to get rich. Okay. After high school. And from high school, this thing started. I basically was so much criticized when I was young. Okay. I hated myself, I hated my family, I hated my own father when he was in addiction, and the stories I had heard about him. Yeah. And I hadn't really bonded with him that much. So when I got now before now getting to university, yeah, I even was trading shares, looking for money, reading about all these rich people, the Warren Buffett, the Sergey Brin from Google and all that. So when I got into university, I hated alcohol because of what I had seen it do to my father and in my family. But now I didn't know anything about gambling. Okay. So when I was in first year, I'm a man who really wants to get rich for the wrong reasons. Just to prove to people you have been criticizing me, I can become somebody, I can become different from my father, all that. So I'm in first year in the University of Nairobi. Yes. So the room I got into, the guys we got into in the same room, everybody was talking about betting at that time. I don't want to mention any company. So there was a company then that was very famous back then. It's almost like 10 years or 11. 2015, that's when I placed my first bet. I remember that day. Placed like 3 teams, won that day. You know the devil is good in lying to you the first time. And I won that day. When
it was your first attempt.
Absolutely. And you know, when it comes to gambling, the biggest loss is a win. And the biggest win is a loss.
My colleague was telling me that. Pastor Mukaya mentioned that just before he left, and I'm like,
Absolutely.
what are you talking about?
The
Really?
biggest win is a loss. The moment you win, it pressures you into going to eat more and more.
Wow.
And for example, that day that I won now, I had to go back again trying to win. And then you realize you get to a place where now you start losing, you are unable to control yourself, and that's what happened. Then one day, the guys I'm living in the same room, they are always coming late into the room.
Yeah.
I asked them, where have you been into? And that's where they showed me into casinos in Nairobi town, in Kenyatta Avenue there. And one of the casinos, I went there, the third floor. They were placing bets. And at that time, placing using the phone, you have to use transaction charges because of M-Pesa and all that. And you know, as a student, you don't have that much money.
Yeah.
So but when it comes to the casino now, we were just, if it's 100 shillings, you just place it on the machine, there is no transaction charges.
Yeah.
So we started going with them to the casino. Then one day, the casino used to be, third floor it's sports, second floor it's a club, then the ground floor it's, there are slot machines. There are so many games you place on Gaminator, roulette, which happens to be, the one who opened that roulette, the one who founded it. Through it, he lost so much money that he committed suicide because of it. That's the story. It's a story that goes around.
The owner of now this.
Not the one who came up with the idea of the roulette.
Okay,
He's
right.
not a Kenyan, but the one who came up with the idea. What can I say? He lost so much through it that he had to. So one day I am with a friend from campus,
Yes.
and, and we are leaving the casino. So I asked him, let me see what happens here in the ground floor.
Yeah.
So I met an old mzee, similar, like close to the age of my father,
Right.
and you know, you can trust him and all that. So I asked him what happens here. He told me, give me 500 shillings and let me show you. He was the agent of the devil that day.
Yeah.
He was devil salesman to
Kabisa.
me. So I gave him the 500, and in a little minute, the money got to 3,000. Not even
Enticing.
and so I was enticed. I went back to the university, told everybody, yeah, I've seen how these people have been reading about the Bill Gates, how they make money. You know, I'm naive. I'm from the village. I don't even know that this is danger. I can't, behind these wins, behind all this, I can't see the mzee there with no transport money. The mzee who is giving me the money, I can't see the inner man, how he is desperate to. But for him, again, he had to. Later on, I was very bitter towards him. After a few years, why did you introduce me to this thing?
Knowing it's bad.
Knowing and you are mzee. I mean, and after a short period of time, 2016, you know, when it comes to addiction, there are fast progressors and slow progressors.
Okay.
Me, I'm a fast progressor.
Yeah.
Once I start doing bad things, I will do them in a near, like, I will. Later on, like 2022, the things I did, I went to jail, mob justice, so much things in 1 year.
What?
Because of gambling.
What do you mean? Because you see, when you say you went, you actually went through mob justice. Is it because of stealing? Because someone on the, or not you were listening to, you know, from the people we spoke to, Kenyans out there, someone said you even get to a point of stealing to satisfy this. Did you
Like
get
I
to
said,
that point?
There are 2 types of addiction. There are 2 types of addicts.
Yeah.
One is a fast progressor, the other one is a slow progressor. One of the words there is progressor, which means that addiction, number 1, is progressive. Though addiction has so many natures, like it's a disease, it's a primary disease, but one of the natures of addiction is that it is progressive.
Wow.
If you start today, next year you will not be the same level. Like if you go back to gambling after quitting, you're not going back to where you started, you're going back to where you left it. So when I started addiction, I wasn't a liar. And that's the problem. Most of people now in addiction, because you have been lying, you have classified yourself as a liar.
Yeah.
And you have allowed the devil to give you that identity. But for me, when I started gambling, I wasn't a liar. So initially, people trust me. My sisters trust me.
Oh, yes.
Everybody trust me. So at that time, I can get money, I can gamble.
Yeah.
Then it gets to a point where now I start realizing there is a problem.
They also see
It's
that there's a
progressing,
problem.
a step at a time. It's progressing.
Okay.
After a few, depending on what kind of a person you are, if you're a slow progressor, it might take even 10 years before you become an addict. That's why you're not supposed to say that me, I can gamble, I usually gamble and there's no
And I'm
problem.
not an
Because you
addict.
don't know your future, how it looks like.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just bring in Steve as well, because from what you know, Mark Justin is talking about, he said it at that point and to the point of mob justice, lying and all that. Did you also get to that point? And first for you, how long did you gamble for you to realize there's a problem? And what was it? What was the turning point?
My turning point, okay, let me just start from this.
Yeah.
You know, there are now those times that reaches and you're like, I had my own sister. Like my sister was working back then. I had people who trusted me so much. Like nikiwa Kongori, I could just do a phone. It's one phone call away. But now you see that tendency of you borrowing too much. You know, like each
Raises eyebrows.
Yeah,
right
you
now.
see each and every time. Someone sees your phone anajua hii ni shida tu, you know, it's a red flag. So you see my family, that trust that I had towards my closest family members,
yeah.
most of my sister, it reached a point where I could lie that nimeshikwa. I mean,
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you see, I could tell them that, oh, you know, I spent last night in jail.
a cell.
Yeah, in a cell. So that once you see, like, they could, really, what happened? Then I told them, you know, I had some, I'll be like, oh, now this
We
guy
have
is,
him and all that.
he's our brother.
So
we
this
cannot-
lying thing actually is consistent across the board. Is that what? And it seems to me, Mark, that is this like probably even worse than a cocaine addiction? It looks like a drug addiction. Is it?
I would say there is no good addiction, because these like.
Addiction.
An addiction.
But when it
is an
comes to
addiction.
gambling,
Yeah.
you know, it depends with the kind of dopamine. You see, when you gamble the first time, there's a chemical in the brain that is released known as dopamine. It's the same, it's called the feel-good hormone.
Feel-good hormone, right.
It's the same hormone released when you run, when you
Take a walk, you exercise.
when you do, yes,
Yeah.
it makes you feel good. So the first time you gamble, you feel that dopamine is released.
Yeah.
But now the problem with gambling is that sometimes it releases even times like 10 more dopamine than some of, like more than even running, more than some of the activities.
Wow.
And the problem is, the more you gamble, the brain starts depending on gambling to release dopamine instead of now the brain releasing dopamine. So the brain goes into a place where it relaxes.
Najiachilia.
It relaxes to and leaves now the activity of releasing dopamine to the brain. The brain is now releasing dopamine. So it gets to a point where you have to gamble to release dopamine.
Yeah.
And that's why you find that no matter, people, you will lose money, you will lose your wife, but you are making losses, but you just want to be gambling. Because now the brain has gotten to understand that I have to drink, I have to gamble.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when it comes to drinking, cocaine. The brain goes into a relaxation mode, and now it has to depend. And now if you want to quit addiction, healing takes time.
Very true.
You don't take 3 months in a rehab and you expect everything to be solved. We actually have something called POS, post-acute withdrawal syndromes, that you might be 1 year sober but you're still having cravings. Because the brain is healing. You see, it was in a relaxation mode.
Yeah.
Now that you have quit addiction, you have to give it time to now start going back to how the brain of somebody who is sober functions.
Yeah.
And it takes time. Sometimes it takes you even falling, but you rise up again.
Okay.
That's how now recovery is.
Wow. You know, as we speak about all this, for you, Steve, especially, is there a point that you felt your mental health was now getting affected?
In fact, let me tell you, now, around that's 2022. You know, now I was married. I had a son.
Yeah.
And now you see, each and every time, like, ingefika usiku, like, I'm asleep, just imagine, you are on bed, and now you've placed a bed. Then now, you see, there's a way that you like, the person you're living with, like 90%, you are like, like you're not concentrating even on bed, like you don't want to sleep. I could sweat previously the whole night, and I was like, yo, there's something that is so wrong with me. So I used to spend so much time on my phone. So it reached a point whereby my wife could not condone this, because now for us, you know, I was not working, I have no job. I wake up in the morning, a hopeless life, you know, she had a phone. Maybe I could just say that in the morning, maybe once she's gone to fetch some water hapo kwa tap, ninachukua simu yake, I go sell that phone, you know.
What?
My partner, you know. Those are things that happen. Gamblers live a very reckless life. They don't care. Let me tell you, they don't care. They can do anything as long as it gets the money, you know,
to satisfy that,
urge of the anger, you know. So like, where it has reached, I think I must call it quit. You see, with the once you once you stop gambling, you know, you cannot just wake up today and say that nimeacha kubet, you know. You must decide. You must say that apana, this thing has become too much, and now you must do that. You must make a decision. Just imagine someone that I loved so much, someone who trusted me so much, had to leave me. I had to raise that son alone. I had to ask, I had to beg for money from people. So most of the time I could be asked, hey, Waziri, why do you work with your son each and every time? I could hide the joy and the sorrows, you know, and that sympathy that, my wife has traveled, has gone to the village, there's something, you know, but...
And stuff like that, you know, just you know, to gain that sympathy.
To gain that sympathy.
Now, you know, Mark Justin.
Yes.
You've been in this journey, and then here you are, you got help. At some point, you got help. What was your turning point as well, and why did you decide, instead of, okay, you've recovered, you're okay, what inspired you to start the rehab center instead of just moving on with your life and enjoying it?
I would say, specifically the question now, even you would ask my brother here.
Yes.
I would say personally, my mental health was very, I got to a point where I even tried so many times to commit suicide. At the time I had an overdose. I took an overdose of pills, these psychiatric pills, and I stayed in a hospital unconscious for 2 days in those trips. And the doctor, when I woke up, told me, if you have not died after taking all those drugs, then you're not dying because of suicide again. Stop trying to commit suicide. So that's part of gambling. In any addiction, you get to a place where, actually those are the places now you're in the last stages. So when it comes to me quitting, getting to that place where I got into rock bottom, I've ever gone into a rehab, but I don't think I had gotten to the rock bottom. I still went back after, maybe I went there because I was pleasing a girlfriend I had then, my family and them and all that. But the turning point came back in 2023 when the year was coming to a start. My mother died January 1, 2023. I was living in the streets homeless.
So sorry.
Even when it comes to the university, I took 2 years late to graduate because of the same issues. My mother dies. Me, I'm not even in the I don't even have a phone. I hate myself to a point where I don't want to see how my my classmates, the ones how they are progressing. To see, as an addict, that's why most addicts don't have a phone. And you know, misery loves company. You don't want to associate yourself with. You don't want to see how people are progressing, because it makes you feel bad about yourself.
You pity yourself.
Yes.
Self-pity comes in.
And that's why most people even become narcissistic. Like they are beating their wives because they know, if this one leaves me, I don't have any hope of getting another person. So I have to use every other strategy to make sure that she remains. So for me, here I am. I go to the village. It's my mom's burial.
Yeah.
I have not been sitting down with my father. We are almost fighting before my father. My father telling me, you are the reason as to why your mother died. Me telling him, you are the reason as to why. So that's where now the change started. Before then, the last time I saw my mother was on 17th December 2022, and I took her phone on the deathbed. She was having mouth cancer because of Mira. And when on the deathbed, you know, addiction had made me numb. I emotionally am not. You're
emotionless.
Yes.
You feel nothing.
And I do crazy stuff. So I get into the hospital at KU Hospital. She's on the bed. She's so weak. The body has become so, I mean,
emaciated.
Yes, and she's been actually done those tests, the radiography. One of the tests had to be stopped because she fell when it was being done on her. So when on the deathbed, because she had now to be admitted to the hospital, on the deathbed, I took money now. You see, when people come visiting you in the hospital, they are giving you money. So I imagine, and it's my mother, and I'm the only son in my home, the last born. I'm the one supposed to be supporting her. And I'm here now taking the money. I took money that she had been given. I took her phone, went into the streets. My sisters were calling me using that phone. This is the only thing giving my mom hope. How can you take her phone? And it's the only thing giving her hope now in this life. It's that phone. She used to watch videos and she couldn't even talk. She had gotten to a place where now she's using because of mouth cancer. There's an operation that was done on her that year that wasn't supposed to.
Okay.
So here I am now, after the burial date. My family, the good thing, they still set me down and told me God can still forgive you.
Wow.
Do you want to go to rehab again? Those words,
you are given chances,
those words really meant so much to me.
Oh wow.
And they told me, I mean, try this out. Because at that time I'm now coming to, I was taking alcohol that whole season. Because I want to,
your pain.
Yes, and it's the life I've been used to. I don't want to remember that now I can't see my mother to ask for forgiveness. God hates me. I can never be forgiven. This is a curse. How can I take my mother's phone? So the process of recovery started. I started living with my father.
Okay.
And then now recovery started, and I didn't even go to a rehab. And then the rehab, and then now after a few months we started the rehab as a way to remember my mother, and I take it as my insurance. This is my insurance of staying sober.
So it was like self-healing for you. Didn't have to go through
Absolutely.
by God's grace, which is very, you're quite,
by God's grace.
you know.
And that's why I depend on Him.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I had to go through all that. To me, I appreciate it because it has brought me so close to God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amen. You know, we'll be talking about solutions, you know, right after we take a very short break. We'll be back with my guest to speak about solutions. But remember, you can be part of this conversation on our socials, you know, all of them, including our live, you know, YouTube channel. We are there, and we are talking about matters, the real cost of gambling. And we've had the cost, what it has cost these people in studio just because of gambling. So be part of this conversation. And remember, we are able to bring you such conversations, healing, you know, healing marriages, healing pockets, even finances, because we're talking about matters financial, because of your generous support, because of you just listening in and saying, you know what, I'm going to hold their hand and I'm going to walk with them to keep the ministry going. You are also a minister, we are also ministering, so let's partner together and really speak and change people's lives. You can do that by also sending the word partner to 20316. Our SMS line 0786 316 316. That is our WhatsApp line. Send the word partner, we'll be able to reach out to you, and also our pay bill number 316 316, and the account name is your telephone number, just to be able to continue spreading this gospel and impacting lives. Let's listen into this, and we'll be right back with more on the real cost of gambling.
First of all, gambling is addictive, and family wealth and well-keep has been lost in gambling. And therefore, in that state of addictiveness, people are losing livelihood through gambling. And this is what I believe it should be done. We should do away with gambling from a government position, and also it should be preached in the church as something anti the Bible.
As people that have children, we need to advise the coming generation. The Bible teaches us that we need to groom a generation of people that will live for God, a generation of people that know God. Now, we are the ones that are in a place of being able to advise them and show them this is the way, this is what you're supposed to do.
Whenever we get any gain from our work, it is enjoyable. The Bible says, ill-gotten gain brings no lasting happiness. Therefore, especially young people, they must train themselves to work and work and work.
Wow, what a conversation. And if you're joining us right now, remember we are live on our YouTube channel, Family Media, as well as right here on Family Matters, where we're talking about the real cost of gambling this morning. And yes, those are some of the solutions, but we're going to hear from the real people and their experiences when it comes to matters gambling. What are some of the solutions that they have or they can propose? But before then, we can also go into our socials, and I can see Martin Dungu. Martin Dungu says, if you gamble to get rich, you run into depression. I do it for fun, but can't risk more than 50 bob in betting in a day. But it's addictive. You can lose focus on your life if you get deep into it. Now it's my 9th year in betting, but don't make it as a get rich channel. It doesn't work that way. I bet with what I can afford to lose, And then also there is someone else who is saying, good morning, family. This should be a national conversation. Glad you're having it. Thank you very much. Is game betting, gambling, what are the effects and how do I know it's getting bad? And I think we had talked about the betting, games, but Mark, Justine, and Steve, actually, Mark, you had talked about the progressive.
Yes.
But this, Martin is saying, if you gamble to get rich, you're into depression. But he's careful. You understand? He just places 50. And he's been doing it for 9 years. So for him, it's not a channel for getting rich. What is your take on that?
First of all, thank you, Martin. But when it comes to gambling, for me personally,
yes,
I wouldn't do it for fun. Even pool table. One day I relapsed because of pool table.
The shooting of pool
Yes,
table?
absolutely. Because we started, even cards, playing cards, and then you involve money. Because one person has to lose. It brings you back. Even placing, the one we place, even say that we are placing for the presidency. Let's see who will win the presidency. Who are you for?
Yeah.
So for him, we don't know if he's a fast progressor or he's a slow progressor, or definitely he's not a fast progressor. He might be a slow number one. Again, number two, genetically, it depends. Like for me, I am highly susceptible to now get into become an addict because my mother was one, my father is one.
Right.
So I'm even 4 times more likely to come into addiction. And the other day, I went to a certain doctor who told me now I might have picked a small amount of becoming an addict from my mother, the other one from my father. So
combined,
it makes it very highly susceptible to become now an addict. So there is something else called addictive personality.
Yes.
There are some of us who have an addictive personality that we make impulsive decisions. It doesn't necessarily mean gambling. It's so easy. So he might not necessarily have the addictive personality. It's like the people who are social drinkers.
Okay.
They might even keep alcohol in the house for 1 year. They will never drink it.
Yeah.
But now we don't know what if there is a loss in your family and it hits you so hard. Such that now you run to the alcohol, such that now gambling gets into a place where, that's why I would rather that your running point is to God. And if you have not gotten to that point in life, you can easily become an addict. Even if it has taken 10 years or 15 years. Me, I would rather that the only place you go to when in depression, when in anger, it's to God, because He's the only one who can fully satisfy you. Amen. He's the only one who can fully satisfy you. But when you are hanging on the how can we say, you are risking.
You are dependent on that.
You are
No, not
risking.
dependent actually, because he's saying he just puts what he can afford to lose.
So you're playing for fun when losing. What if, I mean, to me, that's you're hanging on the. Very soon you might. Me, I would rather you are fun. Find something else to have fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And someone is saying from a YouTube channel that Mark, this man Mark has really opened many platforms. This is Alison Jerry. She said this man Mark has really opened many platforms for people to shun from addiction and reform. He's an encouragement to many. You
Thank
know,
you,
kudos, kudos,
it's only
kudos.
by the grace of God.
Yeah, amen. And then there was also a concern about Steve, game betting. How will one know that now they're getting into a very bad space when it comes to even the little, you're betting for game?
I will say that with the habits now, like if you start now borrowing money,
yes,
you see, you're borrowing money in a manner that you'll refund. Then now that money, it reaches a point that you cannot even, you even stop picking calls from those people who give you the money. You see, that's the time you'll realize that you have cultivated a very bad relationship with those people who trusted you so much. So those are the points. I will say that's the time you'll have now to see that you've reached a point whereby you need to turn off from what you used
your
to,
habits,
your habits,
Okay.
So for me, I will say that the time it reaches that you don't even have that financial discipline, like you borrow carelessly. So that's the point. I'll tell you that
you're getting rock bottom, or addiction.
To maybe add on what he has raised.
Yes.
About what clearly shows that you have a problem. I don't know if there's a time I released that video of 20. Actually, I have 20 things that prove. Let me go through some very fast. Okay. You lose time from work due to gambling. Gambling is making your home life unhappy.
Okay.
It's affecting your reputation. You felt remorse after gambling.
Yes.
Like, why did I do that?
Yes.
You gamble to get money to pay debts or otherwise to solve financial difficulties. Gambling has caused a decrease in your ambition or efficiency. After losing, you feel you must return as soon as possible to win back your losses. After a win, you have a strong urge to return and win more. Gambling, you gamble until your last coin is gone.
Okay.
You borrow to finance your gambling.
All right.
I don't know if
no, because of time,
yes,
and so because we need to cover all that, but you can share that probably, as a parting shot or something, and even on our socials, you have that opportunity. But what I'm, with all this, because all these are problems we've been talking about. Mark, Justin, what are some of the solutions? Starting with you, then I go to Steve for the same. What are some of the solutions? Because we've had about some of them in the previous link video. Then what is it from you as someone who's walked this journey?
Absolutely. One of the problems I have seen with the society as of now is that most people have not come to agree that gambling is an addiction, specifically families.
Right.
I'll meet families who are like, why should we take a rehab to rehab somebody in a gambling addiction? I thought rehab is for alcoholics.
I
thought
so
rehab
too,
is for bang addicts. But no, gambling is highly addictive. Maybe it's now getting to that point, specifically with some game introduced like the Aviator game, which has become very highly addictive. And it needs to be classified as one of the problems. And it was the other day when the government intervened, though not that much. So the solution to gambling, to the individual now, number one, you need to accept. Number one, that I have a problem. Acceptance is actually the first step towards any form of addiction if you want to conquer it. I have a problem, and then you understand it might take time. I might even fall, but I will rise up again. And then initially, gambling is a primary disease, meaning to solve any other problem, you have to first quit gambling. If your wife ran away, you don't first focus on your wife, you first focus on gambling. It's a primary disease. So to first conquer gambling, remove every other trigger. The people in the platform, we have even sites like Gamban that blocks these gambling sites.
And the bet blocker.
Okay.
Yes, and the bet blocker. And somebody can be your parent in terms of the Gamban, giving parental control that you can pay using somebody else. So when you want to gamble using your phone, Gamban has to ask the other person who signed for you the account whether, you see, you are making it hard for you to bet. Make sure that you don't have access to money. If you have a wife or a husband, because even ladies are gambling very much.
Yeah.
So if you have a wife or a husband, be honest. Addiction thrives in secrecy. Addiction thrives in secrecy.
Yeah.
The more, I mean, you realize that even if you fail, like for me, I've fallen on this journey of salvation.
Yes.
I have a mentor who I love so much. So I ran to him, and I'll be honest, yesterday I fell. I'll go back to God and cry. I fell yesterday. The more I become honest, the easier it will be for me, for the problem not to continue.
Okay.
So the point is, be honest, open up,
yes.
and then leave the control of the money control when it comes to money to your partner. Men suffer from this problem because they feel like, my wife, that cultural problem and all that. But it's
an accountability partner, kind of.
Yes, I saw a conversation the other day that the men who look like their wives are actually the most successful ones, and it's true. So I would rather nikae, it's like nimekaliwa, but at least I have this thing under control. But these are the initial steps.
All right.
Hii ni kama putting a bandage on the wound. You still have to go to the hospital now.
For dressing.
And all that so that the wound can get better. This is just the bandage part. You're just quitting the gambling. You're just making it hard for you to gamble.
All right.
Now, gambling is not about the money. Gambling is about absolutely. Gambling is a character, your character, the perception about yourself, your mindset. And you win in your mind or lose in your mind.
Yes.
So if your mindset is still the one that I am cursed, my family, we have to do this. I mean, once your mind starts changing, to go even to gambling, your identity. Some of us have called themselves liars, and you lied because of gambling. You are not necessarily a liar. So all these things have to change, and that's where now you even introduce God.
Okay. All right. God is in the center of it all. I love that. And let me just bring in Steve as well into this part. In terms of very, very quickly, because imagine time, very briefly, please put across your point as we wrap up the show.
I was saying this. Sometime, there's a book that I've written.
Yes.
It's called My Journey from Addiction to Empowerment. So there's a way that there's some points that I usually put across on matters related to parents, on how they can help their children. They should start now the earlier conversations to their kids at home. Then now they become a role model. After becoming a role model, then now they need to teach teach financial literacy to the children. And fourth, it's to monitor online activity. Then fifth, encourage healthy hobbies. Sixth, build a trusting relationship.
Thank you so much. Part of the solutions right there. There's so much feedback, and unfortunately we may not be able to cover everything, but we really do appreciate your feedback. I'm seeing Wakisa, Silumbu, I'm seeing Wanjiko asking about forex gambling and all that. Aviator is the most risky way of gambling, Okumu says. And with all this, if there's any question, there's an expert here, right, for gambling, and there's also a lot of feedback on our WhatsApp channel, but we'll be able to answer all that. Even share the numbers if you need any of them, then we'll be able to share their contact. But remember, we really do appreciate your feedback. We really do appreciate your support. Look at what you're doing right here. It's like you're paying for someone to go for consultation with an expert. We want to say a very big thank you to you, our partner, who is listening and watching. This is the kind of impact you're having on people's lives. You're changing people's lives. You're changing people from addictions. You're changing people's marriages, healing them, and we want to say a very big asante sana. May God continue blessing you. May you continue being part of this ministry. As I said earlier, keep walking with us. Don't give up on us, because we are not giving up on families. We're not giving up on people's finances. Neither are we giving up on relationships. May God bless you and keep you. And remember, for you, you can keep sending in your contribution and support to pay bill number 316. Your account name will be your telephone number. And as well, we also have our cooperative bank account, and the cooperative bank account is 011. The cooperative bank account is 0113 6000-799100. And the account name is TBN Family Media. God bless you and keep you. And remember, gambling is an addiction. You don't just need a rehab, you also need God. Like Mark Justine has said, you also need some of the solutions, like what Steve has said. Monitor as a parent also. Monitor that online interaction. Bless you, and remember, we love you and God loves you. Bye for now. See you again tomorrow on Matters Relationship.